What's up, boys? Taking a look at some more NBA player props over on prizepicks. We have killed it this year so far for NBA, and I'm looking to keep that going through this NBA season. We had a good year last year, and we are off to a hot start so far this year. 10-3 over on the Patreon. If you guys want to go ahead and get access to all of my plays, all my research, all the different stuff, I've had 7 plays posted up there for a good while right now. So if you guys are interested in joining, there's 3 different tiers. We'll talk about more about that in a little bit here. But I got a play for you guys here for free on YouTube right here. You guys can subscribe and leave a like on the video with those post notifications on, so you guys have access to all my plays whenever I drop free plays, which should be every single day, and always player props over on the Patreon. So also, if you guys are on prizepicks, a bunch of guys have been joining, and I highly recommend it. 18 years and older, and you guys get 100% deposit match up to $100 when you guys use my code DOMG. So link is down in the description for that as well, available in most states and most of Canada. But yeah, definitely recommend joining if you guys have not already joined. A ton of new members there, and also a ton of new members on the Patreon here. So let's go ahead and talk about this player prop here. But I think I pretty much covered everything. The Patreon, I'll talk about more about that in a second here. But yeah, we are 10-3 so far this year over on the Patreon. There's NFL, there's NBA, and there's all sports. So 10-3 so far this season. My plays are always ranked by confidence level, by the way. So I rank every single one of my plays for the day by confidence level, and all the top 3 hit last night. We only had 1 loss last night, and the top 3 all hit last night on a very, very small slate. So had a pretty good day yesterday. 10-3 again so far this year on the Patreon. And also the top 2 hit for NFL last night as well, which was actually both Alvin Kamara props. So Kamara killed it last night for us. But so NFL, NBA, or both NBA and NFL regular season for $15.99 a month. Link is down in the description below. You guys don't have to join that, but because I always have these plays over here on the YouTube. So let's take a look here at this player prop here. So I'm gonna hop in here. Sorry, super long intro, but just, subscribe to the channel, all that different stuff. All links down in the description below, prizepicks and the Patreon. Let's hop in though. So rebound prop here. We're going to go ahead and go with, where are you at? I think I passed him. There he is. DeMar DeRozan over 4.5 rebounds. I like him to grab 5 boards here against the Washington Wizards. There's a couple different reasons for this. Stay here, listen to the breakdown, tilt your own risk, looking these more on your own, do your own research. But this is what I found. This is a prop that I'm liking a lot for today. He's a minus 145 to go over 4.5 rebounds as far as I saw on the book. So at the time of recording, he's a minus 145 to go over this right here. He was actually a minus 140 earlier, but he's actually bumped up now to a minus 145. So I'm definitely liking the spot here for DeMar DeRozan. He's hit this in 63% of games between this season and last season. 63% between this season and last season. He actually had 6 last game, which is actually against the Miami Heat, who are kind of a tougher team to rebound against usually. I do believe, at least last season, I think they were a pretty tough team to rebound against. He had 6 against them. We just need 5 here against Washington, which he did in every single game against them last season. He had 9 in his first game, 5 in his second, and 7 in his third game against the Washington Wizards last season. Again, we just need 5 in this game here against the Washington Wizards. He should have a ton of minutes, and he should be able to get this done here against the Washington Wizards. We can take a look at this game right here, though. So he's projected to start at small forward here against Washington. 2.5 point spread is favored to Washington. It's a 222 point over under. So kind of a pretty solid over under. I don't mind that too much. It's not insanely high like this Pacers game. 232 over under. But it's a pretty solid over under, because otherwise you have games like this Miami Heat game that's 219. I think it's a pretty solid over under. 222. I like the spot here for that. So he's a small forward on the road going to Washington. So you can take a look at his game log right here and see what he's done kind of lately. He had 6 rebounds, like I said, against Washington. Otherwise, you have the playoff games against Milwaukee here with 8, 7, 5, 5, and 2. Also, you have against, in the regular season, 1, 2, 3, 1. So he had a pretty bad stretch towards the end of the season last season. Although he faced the Heat, last season at the end, he had 1 rebound in that game, came back this season against the Heat and had 6 rebounds. So I'm just liking the spot really overall. And again, against the Wizards last season, he had 7, 5, and 9, like I said. But if you want to go back even further to when he played with the Spurs, you can see he had 2 and 3. So we didn't really do too well back then. But that was back in 2021 and 2019 with the different teams. So we're focused on the Bulls, though, which last season, man, is still in 2022, by the way. He had 9, 5, and 7. So again, I'm just loving the spot for DeMar DeRozan here. Make sure you guys tilt your own risk. He's a minus 145 to go over, which is great odds for prizepicks. So I'm really loving the odds here. And again, we are 10-3 so far this year for NBA. So we've been killing it so far, looking to keep it going. Hopefully got a crap ton of props that'll definitely impact the record today. So I'm really happy about the NBA season being back, man. Hopefully you guys are too. Good luck tonight. But let's go ahead and take a look at some leans and things like that. Steal props have definitely been a little bit interesting. I don't think that I haven't really seen too much from these steal props. Derek White, I think, interested me on the over for sure. He's got pretty solid odds, I believe, to go over half a steal, which is a little bit interesting. I definitely am liking Derek White a little bit here on prizepicks to go over a steal. None of these plays I'm going to talk about are an official play over on the Patreon or anything like that, besides DeMar DeRozan, but these are just the leans that I'm talking about here. Derek White here at a steal is a little bit interesting. I do have a 3-point made prop on the board over on Patreon. But yeah, I haven't really taken too much of a look into 3-point props either. Really, the main markets I like to focus on are the rebounds and assists mostly. I do have a block shots prop over on the Patreon. I have a 3-point made prop on the Patreon. And I've also been diving into these rebound plus assist props as well. Hopefully these go pretty well today. But yeah, I've been liking some of these props, I think, too. So haven't dabbled in too much to them, but I have definitely found a lot of value when it comes to rebounds plus assists here on prizepicks. So I'm really happy that I think this is the first year that they've actually added these. They might have had these for the playoffs. They didn't have these for the regular season last season, I don't think. So there's just so many categories, by the way, on prizepicks. If you guys are on prizepicks, you guys got to join, man. I definitely recommend it. Available in most states, but yeah, there's just crap ton of categories here. Same with NFL, man. But that's pretty much it for that. I will say rebounds. I've seen a lot of people like Buddy Hield to go over 4.5. I don't mind this spot. I've gotten questions about this with him having 10 rebounds against Washington. He is a shooting guard. Keep that in mind. I believe he should be starting at shooting guard. No, he's small forward. So small forward there. You know, I don't know. I've seen some back and forth about this one. I kind of like his over because the odds, I believe, are pretty damn good for him to go over 4.5 rebounds. But yeah, I don't know, man. He had 10 last week. If you're thinking about this prop just because of that, I probably would, you know, you got to look into more than just the hit rate, guys, I will say. But I don't know, Buddy Hield, I think he can definitely get that one done. I've gotten questions about that one. I just want to talk about that slightly. I don't really have too many opinions on that. He's not an official play for me or anything. I'm not playing him personally, but I've seen a lot of people like Buddy Hield. He's got solid odds. I can see him going over, but it's not something I'm playing is what I'm trying to say. What else do we want to take a look at? I think Gordon Hayward is a pretty solid spot at 4.5 rebounds, I think. He had 5 last game here against the San Antonio Spurs. We already talked about DeMar DeRozan. That's my official play for this video. Saw a lot of people like Ben Simmons over 6.5. He's bumped up to 7. Claxton at 8 rebounds. I think I liked his over, if I'm not wrong, as a lean. I don't really look too much into that. I would definitely be taking Tatum boards if the odds were a little bit better. But when it comes to prizepicks, I try to stay away from things that are not favored odds-wise, if that makes sense, compared to sports books. First thing I really look at when I'm looking at my props, by the way, is just kind of how I've been doing my props and how I've found success on prizepicks, by the way, is I always take a look at the odds compared to sports books. If it's a high odd number like -130, -140, the higher the better. You know, if it's a -140, it's better than a -120, if you guys did not know that. And then I take a look at the hit rate. I take a look at how they've done in past matchups. I take a look at everything else. I always start off the base of my research by looking at the odds. That's just how I've always done it, and it's worked pretty solid for me. You know, but yeah, assist category 2 has also been very, very solid. I definitely like in the rebounds, though, for sure, especially in the early couple games that we've had. I mean, these guys have only played one game so far this season, regular season, with their full minutes. So I've definitely been loving the rebounds because a lot of people have started out kind of cold. Bam Adebayo, bro. Bam sucked balls. I don't like Bam Adebayo. I actually have his prop. I have a prop for him over on the Patreon. I will say, you know, I don't know. Bam's on my bad side because of his assists. The other day, I took his assists against Chicago, and that was one of my 3 losses so far this season. I think I put him in the video, actually. I think I put him in one of the videos, or on Twitter, something. I put him on Twitter or YouTube or whatever to go over 2.5 assists, and of course he's sold. He's one of our 3 losses this year, so he's kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, I will say, when it comes to props. Although I do have another prop on the board for him over on the Patreon that's actually been bumped. I'm sure you guys can guess what it was. I don't even think I have to say it, but that's pretty much all I want to talk about for today. So hope you guys did enjoy today's video. If you guys are new, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video, and subscribe. Check out prizepicks. Link is down in my description below. Use my code DOMG. 100% deposit match up to $100 when you guys use my code DOMG. If you guys deposit $60, they'll match it. Give you guys another $60 in promo funds. You guys will have $120 total to play with. So good deal if you guys use my code DOMG when you guys do sign up. And Patreon link is down in the description below. 3 different tiers. If you guys can just join NBA for $11.99 a month if you guys are interested in seeing every single one of my plays, all my write-ups, ranked, everything like that. And that's going to do it. Appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you guys next one. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys next one. Tail to run risk. Look at these more on your own. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out, boys.